Welcome to the Insider News chat. Today we are chatting with a school board candidate, Reverend Norris Johnson. Uh, Reverend Johnson, let me just ask you, what inspired you to want to enter into the school board race?
Think beyond my children, which are personal to me. I pastor a local congregation with a lot of young men and young women that have a lot of difficulties in being successful in their life. And I'm discovering that a lot of them lack the necessary skills to be successful as far as reading and writing. And it's amazing that I'm in a generation, or I'm in this time now where a lot of people don't have the necessary skills. And trying to help on the end became difficult. So I figured if I could get in the beginning, I can help prevent the next generation from coming out with those same dilemmas. There's a lot of people that are in the world now that have families, have children, but they don't know the basic fundamentals, reading and writing. And I think that I can help make that transition for the next generation a lot smoother so that they'll be successful in the world that we're in now.
Are you satisfied with the present school board and the way they are doing business?
Without being very careful of how I respond, no. I think a lot of things can be done. I think personally that the school board itself is not, as a whole, is not actually in touch with the Racine community schools. I think that they're kind of on the outside making a lot of decisions without being touched, without having the necessary facts and the necessary statements that are necessary for a successful school system.
Statistics show us that it's an achievement gaps between greatly African Americans or minorities and the broader community. Do you have any ideas of how you would address this, or does it need addressing?
I think that when we look at minorities as a whole, they will see us as a, and I say it because I am a minority, they'll see that the gap is fairly wide, not because of so much that the students don't know, it's because of how their image is portrayed. A lot of, you can look at the minorities and they may be true enough, may come from a lower financial background, but they have a lot of the same skills. And I think if we could stop focusing on the financial aspects and what they don't have and focus on what's necessary, we can actually make a big difference.
One of the big discussion in the Racine community now is the discussion of neighborhood school versus busing. You know, how do you feel? Which one do you favor?
I personally, I can be honest. I am concerned about the education of all students equally. I think that if the best school is across the country, that's where the children need to go. If it's down the street, from a personal standpoint. But I think that what we're doing now, if we don't have the necessary demographics and if we don't have the necessary facts, we're making a lot of decisions to reshift a bunch of students. When you get down to it, we really need to focus on what are we doing to educate the students. We can say that it's neighborhood schools, it's going to help educate. We can say that it's busing. We've seen that busing in the aspect that we've had has not really worked. And some of us have come from major neighborhood schools, and the terminology that we're using now is not so much of desegregation busing, it's more social economics. And I think if we really will go back to the focusing on what can we do to educate the students, and what can we do to help involve the parents, then I think a lot of the other stuff that they're talking about or that they're bringing up now probably will be irrelevant. We still have children that could be in the neighborhood and some students that are bused, but their parents are not involved, parents are not aware of what's really going on, and a lot of them feel inadequate because they feel the school system failed them. So now they're in a position where they really don't have a voice, or they really don't feel they have a voice to speak. So I think if we will go back to really putting down to educating students equally, it'll make a big difference.
Lastly, I'd like to ask you, what makes you feel you're the best candidate?
It's not a matter if I'm the best candidate. I personally don't feel that there is anyone that's going to be the best candidate, because when I sit down, and now that I've been to several board meetings, they actually work as a team. You may have a voice individually, but when it's all said and done, you have to come together as a collective body. I think personally I'm more in touch with the school system because I have a 5-year-old student in Dr. Jones Elementary. I have a 12-year-old in middle school, and I have a 15-year-old at Park High School. So I am more in touch with the needs that are current with the school system as of now. What the school system does affects me right now. It affects my children. So personally, I feel that I will stand kind of outside from a lot of the board members who can remember. Majority of them say, "I remember when." I am more of a remember now or present individual. So I think that with me having a present stake in the school system and having a passion for the school system as it is now, I think that I kind of stand out among the rest of them.
We want to thank you for appearing on our website. We hope that you being here today will enlighten the voters to where you stand on the issues. Again, thank you.
Thank you.